Hello, hello, and welcome. Hi, Mir. I love your little dino nuggy. As some of you might have heard, I'm dying of stomach distress. So, gonna keep this one kinda short, which is fine. It's fine. I mean, we have to go back. Like, I don't know if anyone was here last time, but I could not progress anymore in this game. So apparently, according to our resident Mamiya expert, Gizia, I have to go back and do something slightly different, I guess. Like, make a different choice before it lets you keep going in the game. I don't know. I had no idea what's going on, but gonna do it, I guess. But welcome. Hope everyone had a great day, or is having a great day, depending on your time zone. Hope, yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's just go for it. Oh, that was loud. Okay, so we're in episode 2. From last time, we had to, like, vaguely romance each of these boys, somewhat. I guess, it felt like a date. I think there was romance involved. Especially Minato's. That felt, like, super romantic. We, like, went out to, like, what was I thinking, like an opera or something? Or like a, yeah, it was totally an opera, or like a concert. Some sort of classical music thing. It was very bougie. So, but apparently I have to go into chapter 3 and change something. And I don't remember what, but I will save before the choice in case it doesn't work. Apparently that's how to move on to chapter 4. Which is fun, we love it. We'll see if I remember anybody's voices. Or I'm like, should I even do voices since we've already done it before? Yeah, sure, why not? And then I had this idea. What if we put a letter in Natsume's grave, then dig it up and open it like a time capsule 10 years later? The future us will read how he felt about... You know what? What if I just skip to the choice? That sounds like a good idea since people have already seen this. Skip to the choice. Since this is like old territory, it would take forever. Oh my god. It's so much. And then I'll save one where we have to choose something. In case I choose the wrong thing again. Oh my gosh. It's so long. Oh, here it is. Okay. Save. I will save here. Okay. Take a detour. Or hurry up. Oh, I can see the log. At the edge of the road, I put my hand on although I had my hands full just a minute. I'll say hurry up. This is probably how to do it, because I think I said take a detour last time. I won't take any detours. I'll press ahead. With that in mind, I tried to return to the world above when... Oh my god, I have no idea who's talking. Don't play around too much, Natsume. A silhouette appeared at the edge of my vision, making all my hairs stand up. Has? Oh. Mamiya, why are you here? I think I gave him like the trashiest voice ever. Who knows?
A plot twist. Say, a plot nuggy.
A plot nuggy, welcome a plot twist. We here playing some crazy visual novel called Mamiya, which is I feel like it's not horror, but major horror vibes. Like, I don't know. I guess it's a thriller. And I gave all of them heathen voices. Or some of them. Who knows? Oh, yeah. Why do you think? Regardless, you're too late. I found a what if where I can save them from you. Your existence doesn't scare me anymore. What's so funny?
Nothing. It just surprised me that you're still saying stuff like that. I know a word that describes you perfectly.
The man brought his face close and stuck out his tongue.
Dullard.
Who says that? I instinctively pushed him away and made some distance between us. What? Who are you calling a dullard?
Well, who else is there, dear spectator?
You're a little... His aim was precisely to disturb me. I'd only be playing into his hands by succumbing to anger. Oh, since this is your first time, Plot, this game is wild. The British voice guy I was doing, he died, and he turned into some spectator thing that is now observing events after his own death. And there's this weird entity called Mamiya that's causing all his friends to die, and then like took over the body. I don't know. And he's like reading books that are the future. Yeah, it's a lot. It feels like a convoluted anime isekai type deal, but it's fine. I had to observe this Mamiya for a while longer. The child wearing rabbit mask, the gas mask conductor, the girl in the nurse outfit.
Said. LUL it S fine IVE read worse.
I mean, same. I've recently, I don't know if you know this, I got really into Danmei recently, and those are wild. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but hopefully they kiss some more. They're like, time travel. This one turned into a child for no reason. And now there's a sauna scene. And now we're fighting to our death and you got stabbed in the heart 50 times, but you're fine because the power of love. Yeah. Kind of like romance books. The Invisible Man. This human form was unlike any I'd seen in their stories. If Mamiya and Mamiya weren't one and the same, then... Also, I call this my Asgardian British. It's only vaguely British. Are you the Mamiya that the people from the cafe spoke of? Name yourself.
Huh?
If you have a name like Natsume Soichiro, then go ahead and say it.
You're not Natsume Soichiro anymore. Though, are you? But if you're that desperate for a name...
Gizia. Said. OMGHII.
Hi, Gizia! I went back to chapter 3, and I skipped ahead till the choice, and then, here we are. I think I did it right this time, because I think last time I was like, let's read everyone else's stories! And now I'm like, never mind, we don't need to give a shit about them. We did that. So hopefully that was the right thing.
I guess Mamiya Yumehisa should do.
Mamiya Yumehisa?
Well, you may call me whatever you want, nameless spectator.
I'm Natsume. I'm not a nameless spectator. I'm Natsume to the bone.
Whoa, you're actually still calling yourself that? Did only interfering give you some kind of weird confidence in that? In that case, I'm Mamiya. If you will claim to be Natsume, then call me Mamiya.
Gizia.
Such a little shit.
Said. Mamiya, it is recommended to read everyone's stories and then do that DW.
Hey, I did that on purpose, obviously. And they were so cute, I had to read their stories.
So what changed after all your meetings with those four? Was there a point to all that effort you put in? No, it was all worthless. A complete waste of effort. You were biting your tongue for nothing. Go on, then. Say my name.
Mamiya!
Good job.
I can't take anything seriously since I'm giving him that voice. I can't believe it ended there again. Sorry, my phone notifications are very loud. I wiped the blood pouring from my mouth, and for the first time in ages, filled my lungs with fresh air that tasted of books. Ooh, sounds nice. We love a good book smell. I had to stay calm and take deep breaths. Mamiya Yumehisa. It sounds weird. It sounds like I'm saying it wrong. Yumehisa. Yumehisa? Tried to flare me up, but I'd grown quite a bit. Albeit, little by little, the story has been altered. By seeing a different ending, I expanded the amount of possible what-if scenarios. I can't let myself
Gizia.
take this world seriously.
Let us see how this says it, Yumahisa.
Yumehisa. Okay, you know what? If talk to text says it that way, then obviously he's right. He never says any words wrong ever. Wink. Everything's heading to in a good direction. I clenched my fist, as though confirming it. Up until now, I could do nothing but watch, dumbfounded, as the drama below unfolded. But I wasn't just a part of the audience. I was a spectator. I could focus on one character. By doing that, I should be able to steer the story in that person's direction. That would prove especially useful in the stories of the 4 people from the cafe. With 4 characters, the story became a bit scattered. However, just like you underlined important parts of a text, focusing on a single person gives me a deeper understanding. It was a huge step forward for me. It allowed me to use my new powers as a spectator to draw closer to the truth. All right, I'll get on it right away. Now, the important thing was deciding who to focus on. It was probably better to decide fast. Things could change from here, and it wouldn't be good if they got too messy. I had to think this through. After all, the information I'd find would change depending on the person I focused on. The one I want to know about the most is... Oh, these 4? Oh, here, I will save. I'll say Sketchy McSketchy. I chose to observe Somajima. What kind of person was he exactly? With that question in mind, I allowed myself to sink deeper into the story. Chapter 5, Side Samajima. Samajima Satoru was a police officer. Oh man. Okay, girl voices.
I wouldn't call him trustworthy, though.
I know exactly what you mean. Really? He struck me as a composed person worthy of trust.
But he's creepy and a huge gourmand. Just recently he... Samajima, you've got mail. Oh, my marbled...
Oh my god, I don't remember what voice I gave him. I think it was like Snaky.
Oh, my marbled beef must have arrived. Samajima! I'm turning Iberian pork into sausage right now. Can't go wrong with Caspian Sea yogurt. Care for a taste, Niigaki? I hear it does wonders for maintaining one's beauty. And that's the kind of things he talks about. He's more of a gourmand than a policeman.
He's just enjoying life. What's so wrong with that?
I can't relate to that. I'd rather eat something cooked by someone other than me.
Mayuri, let's go to the Lotteria. Go to a Lotteria. Oh my god, I cannot read today. Not that I can read ever. What? Why not MOS instead?
Hang on. Hold on, Arisugawa. I never said I was going, okay?
I do think Samajima's a good person, though.
My job.
Yes, I was just thinking how strange you are.
I see. There's not much to say, really.
I suppose that's true.
Toma, don't just accept everything he says. He's clearly hiding something.
You think so? Ah, crap. I drank some soju highball. I guess I can still drive my bike, though.
Do that and I'll have to arrest you.
Just like that. Oh, God, British accent.
Samajima Satoru remains ever mysterious, not showing his true self to the other 3. Oh, my apologies. I've been dispatched.
This late? Well, good luck.
Thank you. Please enjoy dinner without me.
What an admirable adult. All right, we're getting more meat.
Nice. More shirataki for me.
Would it kill you to show some gratitude from time to time? And just like that, the tall, narrow-eyed officer became a true part of the household. His job had no clear schedule, and he was busy most of the time. but whenever he had the chance, he would enjoy some books or music in the living room. The other three had similarly kept to themselves. They often gathered in the living room to enjoy whatever it was they liked doing. Oh god, which was Niigaki? I think it's the girl. Oh. It's just me and Niigaki here. Arisugawa and Tomo were gone without a trace, which meant that Somejima was left alone with Niigaki. She looked quite awkward. The two, after all, had little to nothing in common. Excuse me. Somejima sat next to Niigaki, who was watching a show she'd recorded. She threw him a glare that screamed, "Why did you have to sit down next to me?" Oh, don't mind me. Keep watching your show. Despite saying that, he fully expected the girl to just leave. However, she remained in place and focused on watching the show. Samejima found the show rather meaningless. He saw no point in stories made by people that were still alive. It was raining outside. The room became even darker, and Samejima, worried about Niigaki's eyes, stood up and turned on the lights. Samejima. Yes. Do you have a family? I do. Any siblings? Unfortunately, no. God, I feel like my voices are cracked today. I see. And what are your parents like? They're...
Izia said, too much coffee.
We do not speak of the coffee. The coffee fully destroyed me. Might have to call out of work tomorrow. Like, holy shit. Never again. I say that every time, and then I, like, 3 months later, do it again. And then I'm like, oh god, this is why we don't drink coffee. I just live in my eternal state of sleepiness forever. They're very normal. My mother is a housewife, while my father is a salaryman. How boring. Indeed. Niigaki wondered what to say next. She seemed to be looking for the right time to speak up. Surprisingly enough, Samejima himself had taken an interest in the girl. He looked at the outline of her nose in the light of the CRT TV screen, wanting to learn more about her. For the first time, he realized that her face had quite a beautiful structure. You're an officer, right? Yes. And you've arrested criminals? I have. Quite a few of them, in fact. Murderers, too? Of course. Why do people get arrested if they kill someone? The girl, whose refined features resembled that of a doll, looked at him with eyes gleaming with curiosity. Why? He could have easily disregarded this as a nonsensical question born of a still developing mind, and yet he chose not to. Well, it's because we live in a society. To live in a society is to uphold certain rules. When society was born, people decided on a set of rules to follow. One of them was to not kill other people. That's all there is to it. Really? Yes. What about morality and all that? It's not a topic I'm particularly familiar with. You're an officer, though. But that is the line of thinking that allowed me to finally understand and accept it. We stand on the ground, inhale oxygen, and exhale carbon dioxide. The idea that murder is bad is as strongly set in stone as those facts of life. Until recently, I thought that killing was bad because you got arrested for it. Is that wrong? It is. The one who taught me that was Mamiya. Keep it a secret, okay? Trying to bind people with penalties alone is impossible. Seems that would be created without fail. He said that to follow the rules is to play the game. This world is a game where we play to live well in a society. When I heard the word game, I was disappointed at first. I didn't expect him to use such a cheap expression. It didn't seem right. Games are based on the idea that the participants consent. It's what allows them to be fun. However, those who are aware that they're participating in the game we call society are few and far between. Nevertheless, that line of thinking made me understand it all. The reason why I found it strange that we had to follow rules was because I wasn't playing the game. That was all there was to it. I'm not really sure I understand all that. I'm sorry. It's rather difficult to explain. It's okay. I was more interested... It was more interesting than the show, at least. Samajima was surprised. Why are you watching a show that doesn't entertain you? Good question. Maybe I'm just waiting for it to get better. Samajima found Niigaki's feelings far stranger than his own words. Well, he seemed a bit scary when I met him, but he might not be a bad person. In fact, I'm becoming more and more interested in him. I should continue watching him for a while longer. Here. Late at night, Samajima was drinking water in the dark of the living room. It was cloudy out, preventing even the moonlight from reaching him. On days like this, he always thought of Mamiya. Samajima could see the bottom of his cup through the colorless, transparent water. How long will this place continue?
What? Why are you here?
I could be asking you the same. Did you wake up to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't have time to go along with your bullshit.
The fact that he wasn't playing along left Samajima quite shocked. Then why are you here?
No reason. I just took a midnight walk for a change of pace.
Do you not like this place? Not even Samajima himself could quite tell why he had asked that. The words were a sign of weakness, and there was no way he would speak them to someone who he supposedly hated.
What kind of question is that? This place makes me want to puke. We're all licking each other's wounds while sharing whatever we have. That kind of feminine shit makes me sick. And I gotta be considerate of them too. So yeah, screw living like this.
Samajima could no longer contain himself. His long arm reached for Arisugawa's neck and lightly grasped it. Samajima had no idea what kind of face he was making at this moment. He loathed this man. He had never experienced feeling so subdued. Was it murderous intent? Loneliness? Samajima had no name for the feelings welling up in his chest. However, the power he poured into his grip was as weak as that of a hand sheltering a baby bird. His narrowed gaze bore into Arisugawa's surprised eyes. He finally stopped resisting. This man, what could he have seen in Samajima while his life rested in his hands? What did he come to realize from an expression not even Samajima himself could comprehend? His neck was hot and beating to a steady rhythm. Minutes passed. The two didn't speak a word. They listened to each other's heartbeats in the dark with different things flashing through their minds. Samajima slowly let go, prompting Arisugawa to quickly put some distance between them.
Hey, Samajima.
I'm going to bed now. See you.
We can't actually go anywhere. Mamiya didn't allow that. We're in this world. This hell. And all we can do is swim around like a bunch of fucking tunas. You're like that too, aren't you? You goddamn migratory fish.
Why? Why is he acting all high and mighty? page 10. Was that not chapter 5? I thought that was already... I guess it was chapter 4. I don't know. Just try and fucking say that again. I know you're a bird brain, so I'll repeat it as much as you want. Or is it your ears that don't work? I'm home. It seems pretty heated in here. Should we put the vases in a safe spot? Also...
Gizia said, it was indeed CH5DW too much about it RNLMA.
It was chapter 5 prequel. Also, ads start in 6 seconds. Ah! I'll just drink water and not keep going while we wait for ads to end. Hydrating before I hydrate. Also, let me know if ads aren't actually playing, and maybe my OBS is just speaking lies. I changed it to 3 minutes an hour because apparently that is preferable to what I had before, which was one and a half every 30 minutes, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I need like ad break music. Ad break. It's an ad. Wow. It's an ad. We love an ad. No, it ends in 2 minutes. Damn. It's a long ad. Sorry about that. Fiends, I love you.
Gizia said, TBH, I feel my Twitch app is weird cause I never get ad breaks at the time the streamers say.
Hey, you're special. Got special sub privileges, even though it's not actually secret. Secret sneaky sub. I feel like sometimes the ads actually start like right after they say they end. So, I don't know. I'm taking it as a chugging water break.
Gizia said, LMAO, I do get ads but at random times.
Huh. Weird. I wonder if it's like your settings or something? I don't know. Special. You get special ads. Just for you. We love an ad. No, we don't love an ad, but I love ads sometimes. I'm always like curious about what type of ads play on my page. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe like, are they targeted? Are they like, hello, here's a game. Hello, here's a really gay thing just for you. We could tell from your streams that your vibe is queer and spooky-ish. Queer and spooky adjacent. So, here is an ad for the new horror movie. Don't kill your gays. I don't know. I think there was a book that said... There's a book called that was called like something about killing your gays. Bam, bam. Wow. 3 minutes is so long. I'm so sorry. But this worked really well for my 13-hour stream. Because it was like 3-minute break every hour. Which was nice. Because so long. I feel like everything this week is just me recovering from that. Ugh. Ooh, it says it's ending in 40 seconds.
Said, yeah, you need breaks too.
Yeah, a break, especially when I'm doing voice acting things, because I can definitely not do those as long as like in normal games. Just because I'm like, hey guys, it's me at the end of it. It's okay. We're training our voice to be able to do longer ones and longer recording sessions and all that jazz.
Said, LMAO.
Yeah, I was like not talkative as a child, and now I feel like I have a very weak voice stamina, which isn't great for aspiring voice acting, but it's fine. Maybe the more I use it, the more it will I don't know, be able to handle longer voice acting durations, I guess. Anyway, the ad break is over for everyone except Gizia, who gets a mystery ad at some point. Because they special. That's Twitch's favorite goblin. I'm home. It seems
Easier,
pretty heated in here.
Said. Oh yeah.
Should we put the vases in a safe spot?
I already did. We might as well hide the TV too. They used it as a weapon last time.
What caused this particular fight anyway?
They're punching each other over their outlooks on life.
Now that's something.
It's just a front, though. They wanted to know something about Mamiya. They're such idiots.
Yeah, I'll go stop them. Cleaning up a broken TV would be a pain. Hey, you two. Huh? Oh, that sounded too similar to his voice. What do you want, Bach? Don't you fucking try to stop us.
I must fix this person's line of thinking once and for all.
Stop acting like children. It's not like your lives matter to the other, is it? Huh?
The two stopped in place.
It does. Of course the stuff we all experienced mattered to us. All of us. Huh?
What's that supposed to mean? Don't pull Toma into your petty little fight. Oh, you two still haven't figured out the meaning behind this place yet. What?
What? Oh, but what about you? Huh? You strung-up schoolboy. What about you? What kind of life did you lead, and how did you end up meeting Mamiya? Say it. You act normal most of the time, but we're all birds of a feather here. That's the kind of place this house is supposed to be. I feel like they're dead. I feel like this house is death or something. That's true.
Stop it, Arisugawa. This isn't the time. I'm actually quite curious myself. It's Samajima. And I'm certain you feel the same. Samajima's gaze made Niigaki look away. Indeed, she had always wanted to know. Think about your life and your relationship to Mamiya. What do we have in common, and what are our differences?
I...
You don't have to say it, Toma. You don't have to say a word about our lives. It has nothing to do with Mamiya coming back. Once Mamiya comes back, we won't have to live like this anymore. We'll be able to finally leave this awful place.
Ah, man, kids these days are a bunch of limp dicks. Aren't you ashamed of having to hide behind a woman?
Arisugawa!
You don't have to say anything. Yet. We'll have you talk eventually, though. And man, will you talk. Oh, we're gonna be needing an index. I'll talk too. So will this guy, Niigaki. Everyone here. Will have us all remember the meaning. The reason why we're here. Make sure to polish up your oratory skills so it all goes nice and smooth, alright? Jesus, or oratory.
Sometimes things went well, at others they didn't. Through various exchanges, they seemed to be drawing close. But then things began to crack. Every now and then they realized that Mamiya was no longer with them. The realization would dawn on them while they listened to music, while they talked to classmates, while they ate breakfast. Right, Mommy. Samajima turned around, but there was no one there. I'm sorry,
Time for food. Get the sauce.
Are you seriously adding even more sauce? You'll get diabetes.
Today is sunny side up fried eggs or twins. Something good just might happen.
Maybe. Perhaps our days will become sunnier too. They resumed eating as if the previous exchange hadn't even happened. They had all repeatedly experienced what Somajima did that just then. And every time, they were struck with worry. What if Mamiya had never existed to begin with?
We're all insane. It's a collective delusion. However, admitting that would make them lose the one place they could call home. The four merely continued eating. What a twistedly unusual way to live together. It's bound to fall apart any second now. They act like they don't even realize it. Under these circumstances, it's only a matter of time until things go worse and they start breaking down. I feel like everyone's gonna kill each other. That's the vibe I'm getting. Or Samajima's like real creepy, so he's gonna do something fucked up. Even now, things seem to be at a boiling point. They were surrounded by a thin sheet of ice and it was covered in cracks. Even so, they continued to dance without realizing it. The one who stood on those cracks the most was him.
Thelma, he's the most normal looking one. Or seeming.
I can't take this. The echo of Toma's voice filled the post-dinner living room. It was a rending voice that no one had heard him use before. Niigaki, Arisugawa, and Samajima were all at a loss for words. I'm saying, I've had enough of this way of life. Our opinions, our rhythms. Nothing matches up. It's all in dissonance. Mamiya doesn't even exist. The words that escaped his trembling lips stung like a knife in the guts. Only the ticking of the clock broke the ominous silence. No one said a thing. There wasn't anything to warm up the frozen atmosphere. Their minds went blank. None of them knew what to say, or what was even right. They didn't know what to do with their experiences. They didn't even have a firm sense of presence.
Oh god, he was a psychopath.
Mamiya exists. If Mamiya doesn't exist, then what the hell have I been doing until now? You're right. Mamiya does exist. If he didn't, then that would mean I've always been alone. That the only person I've ever opened up to didn't even exist. No, I couldn't take that. Why would you even say something like that at this point? It was simple. We merely had to acknowledge and believe in Mamiya. And since we're here, so was Mamiya. That would make it impossible for the others to prove that he didn't exist. It's a potential alibi. If the four of us with our shared experiences don't doubt it, we can keep this shared illusion stable. You're the one who said we should decide on a set of rules. And now I'm telling you, it's become so twisted that we finally hit the boiling point. Don't you see the cracks spreading around us? We can't keep this illusion up anymore. You're all aware of it, aren't you? We were all passionate at the start, and the shock of Mamiya's disappearance allowed us to glean happiness from the fact that we found each other. But that passion soon waned over time, and the opinions from our surroundings began to worm their way into our ears. We began to realize the difference between us and society. Hey, has anyone besides us ever acknowledged Mamiya? No one even tried to search for such a person. It's almost like he never existed. Like he's been cut off from the rest of the world. You've experienced it, haven't you? Toma threw a sharp glare at Niigaki and Arisugawa, making them both clam up. Indeed, they had experienced this before, even though they looked around. I did experience it. I asked around, but only I knew Mamiya. But if Mamiya never existed, then what of our memories? And the present that was built on them? I just need someone, anyone, to prove to me that Mamiya existed. To prove to me that I was right. Wasn't this whole place established for that purpose? And now you're saying this can't go on anymore. Bach's right. We've already come to realize it. Why is everyone calling Toma Bach? So, what now? Are you saying you're just gonna forget all about Mamiya? I could never do that. The The memories I've made with Mamiya are already a part of my life. Yet, you're saying we should just all give up. Since we're unable to keep up the lie that Mamiya existed, we should just admit that the person was fictional all along. If we do that, we would just... Then what do you think we should do? How can we put a period at the end of this reality? We should just end it once and for all.
Gizia said. When they met at the cafe, the first thing Toma mentioned was Bark LMAO.
Oh, what? I don't remember that at all. And then he just stuck with his nickname since then. Poor guy. That's like, I don't know. One time you bring in something weird for lunch and then everyone names you after that. Like, oh, that guy got baked beans. Let's call him Beans forever because he has baked beans. Or like carrots or something. I don't know. That's sad. We should just end it once and for all. We need to put an end to this twisted way of living together.
Gizia said. Yeah, I didn't notice it at first, but yeah.
And stop searching for Mamiya's presence. The time has come to wake up from the dream. It's time to face reality head on. The reality that we're just mentally ill. Same, boy. We're isolated from society, and we are the ones in the wrong.
Gizia said. So real.
We're all crazy and live together. Why? I don't get why they think they're forced to live in this house together. Like, they don't have to. You're saying that we're wrong.
Demon Boy Ren said. I hope you're having a good day.
Hello, Ren! Yeah, it's going better. I feel like my aggressive hydrating is making the sickness stay at bay. If I randomly have to sprint away, though, just be warned. I'll switch to a be right back screen. But I'm vibing. Voices are coming better. Yeah, so having a good time. I still eternally don't know what's happening in this game, but slowly, piece by piece, figuring it out. And maybe by the end of the game, I'll have a vague idea of what happened. I already know that. I know that. But if we break down, if we play along with society, then what will become of our Mamiya? An entire person would literally disappear in the strictest sense of the word, and no one would be any wiser.
You like me the way I am now, don't you? Oh, don't make a face like that. I'm sorry, Satoru.
The feelings Mamiya gave us are more than real.
Mayuri, don't force yourself. Go at your own pace. Cry when you want, and don't be so tense around me. No one will hurt your pride here.
Hey, I don't know what their Mamiyas look like, so they get the generic, like, Beavis and Butthead Mamiya voice. Since we're the only ones who know Mamiya, Mamiya would vanish the moment we looked away.
Toma, once you get to a point where you can talk about everything that's happened to you with a smile on your face, I'm sure you'll become stronger.
Mamiya, no, Mamiya. We're the only ones who know of Mamiya. Mamiya doesn't exist in this world. We're mentally ill people detached from society. So, since we can't play along with society, we have no choice but to break it. Let's use our power. Spread the word of Mamiya to many, many people. This is a cult. I feel like this is a cult. Mamiya must become like the scales of a song everyone knows. Like the laws of a country. Like the three needs of mankind. Our goal is to create a situation where Mamiya is known by everyone. Mamiya saved us, so now it's our turn to help those in need. And every time we do that, Mamiya will be remembered. With gentleness and broad-mindedness. Let's help others.
Like the giant moon that sat above Tokyo Tower that night. I finished the chapter? Damn. I mean, I think I did. I don't know.
Why are they so fixated on Mamiya? Mamiya is nothing but an illusion that doesn't even exist in their world. The moment I muttered that, I felt a certain discomfort in my left arm. Oh, huh? What? My hand is itchy. Urged on by that peculiar sensation, I ended up taking off my glove. My hand, which had been protected by the glove all this time, suddenly had countless cuts on it. Huh, what's this? I checked my other hand too, and found it similarly covered in reddish lines. When did I get these wounds? I've always had my gloves on. I looked at my palm and saw a red line appear out of nowhere, making it look like I was cut by something invisible. Covered in paper cuts. Oh no! Huh. It began at the tip of the middle finger, then went down to the wrist. Ah! I could feel it. I could feel the lines forming under my clothes, on my elbows, my upper arms, my armpits, was still utterly befuddled by what had just occurred.
Oh my god. I didn't expect that much blood.
I suddenly felt a sharp pain, the kind you'd get from a paper cut, flare across my entire right arm. I need to be careful not to dirty the books. My palms, as well as both of my arms, were bleeding without end. I ran back to the librarian, while still trying to stop the bleeding. Miss Librarian. Oh, what's the matter, Natsume? My arms are... What? Your arms? Yeah! What is this red liquid? Is this thing they call blood? It took you that long to realize. Blood. So this is blood. Ah. With a complexion as white as marble, the librarian looked intently at my injured arm. Do you have something I could use to stop the bleeding? Yes. We have to stop the bleeding. Unfortunately, there are no first aid kits around. These types of wounds never occur here, you see. Great. Not to worry, though. There is a hospital some distance away. I'll go there and get one. Thank you. And, I'm sorry. Oh, do not concern yourself with it. In any case, just wait a moment. I'll be back shortly. She grabbed her coat and bag before running off like the wind. That was blood. It was so red. Left alone, I looked up at the clouded ceiling. Dude, guys, every time I see this library picture, I'm like, this is the Trinity College Library in Ireland. It's straight up of a picture of it. Just fuzzied. I went there last year. It was beautiful. But also, super recognizable.
Izia said, OMG.
Look up a picture. Trinity College Library. That is exactly what this looks like. And it's straight up.
Surrounded by black books, this place was like a bottom of the sea. I looked at the spines and saw faint numbers on them. Some were familiar, while others looked more like complex hieroglyphs. There wasn't a single story in here that I was in charge of. Their lives were...
Said,
See?
It is.
I told you. That's like the most recognizable library in the world. And it's just straight up a picture of it. I know my libraries.
Their lives were utterly unremarkable when compared to the whole of mankind. Even so, through blood and sweat, they did their best to live their lives.
It's really funny because, like, I don't know, them using this reminds me of, like, if you know the TV show Loki.
Gizia said, Tism, I didn't know, now I know where I need to travel to.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. They've Trinity College is amazing.
But so the TV show Loki, the headquarters for the TVA is in this. It's in a it's in a Marriott in it's in a Marriott in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it's either Atlanta or Maryland, and it's like has like anime conventions all the time, and they're like, everyone I know that's like was like, oh my god, I went to the TVA. I can't believe I was in the headquarters of the TVA. It's just really funny because it's like super recognizable. Also, like the interior. I love it when they do shit like that.
Gizia said, "Wow, that sounds so fun too."
It's just so funny. Through blood and sweat, they did their best to live their lives. And I had to make sure their feelings were rewarded. After all, only I could save them. She mentioned a hospital. I wonder how far it really is. Are there really people outside this facility, and personal rooms? There's only one building here, though. Man, I really am clueless. Huh. I made a self-deprecating smile, while looking in the direction the librarian had disappeared to. I couldn't even touch any books until she returned. Greetings. Oh, okay. I think that. They get a weird voice because I don't know what they look like.
Greetings to you.
Hello. I felt my shoulders trembling. This was the first time anyone other than the librarian had addressed me. She wore the exact same uniform as her. In other words, there were other librarians and spectators around. Well, she gets that voice now. She's stuck with it. And the one behind the door. Has he ever walked here? Oh, well, I guess it's fine. She got that one voice, that one line she had. Apologies for the wait. I brought some bandages, gauzes, and antiseptic. You have no idea how much I appreciate this. Now I'd like you to sit down and show me your arm. Are you sure about this? Absolutely. I've learned how to treat a bleeding wound. She didn't even know blood existed. I mean, I guess she could have learned from the hospital she was just at. I did as told and presented my arm to her, after which she sat down next to me. This might sting a little. I can handle it. I must say, though, the strangest things seem to happen to you. Normally, spectators never suffer injuries of any kind. The sense of astonishment in her tone was clear as day. Really? The worlds people spectate are, of course, another matter entirely. But when it comes to this place, there's nothing here that can hurt us. There might be some other cause. The way she touched me made it seem like she'd already figured out everything I'd been doing. Her closed eyes made it difficult to read her thoughts. I felt cold sweat gather on me. You're certainly not a bore. What? People like you really are a rarity. You got hurt, yet you remain fixated on a single story. What is our Lord thinking? I would prefer it if I didn't have to deal with uncertain variables. You are precarious. She muttered that while putting the bandages on me. You're a bit like that person. Miss Librarian. There, all done. She pulled her hands away, leaving my arms covered in bandages. Wow, thank you so much. Don't mention it, but please, make sure it doesn't happen again. In any case, I'll be returning to my post. She had vanished beyond the bookshelves before I could say anything in response. That person. Ah. Hey. Oh, wait, I give my head. He had a southern accent, I think.
Hey, you. What's with all the sign in front of my door?
So, do you know what she meant by that person?
Huh?
Never mind. Forget I even asked.
Is there some kind of problem in the story again?
No, it's got nothing to do with you.
Am I imagining things, or are you treating me kinda differently this time?
Switching between their voices is wild. My brain is like, huh, Ah,
By the way, why are you even here in the first place?
Gonna ignore that, eh? Well, whatever. So what do you mean by here?
Well, you know, that dark place behind the door. It's almost like you're locked away. Aren't you a spectator like me? There was a brief silence.
ooh, I feel like this is Mamiya. I don't know.
What makes you think that?
The advice you gave me in response to what I said about the story was far too precise. It didn't sound like mere conjecture. I sort of assumed you were talking from experience.
Ha! Now I'm not too sure if I've been talking too much, or if you've just become more perceptive. As your senior in this, I'm hoping it's the latter.
He chuckled in that cheerful tone of his. The librarian told me not to approach this place, but I can't imagine you as someone who'd be sinful in any way.
Oh, but I am. This place may be separated from the flesh, but that doesn't just make the sins etched onto one's soul go away. I'm a problem child and a joker who broke the rules for fun.
His tone beyond the door had become somewhat self-deriding. It felt like he was using big words to avoid talking about a certain something. Could you tell me more? About your time as a spectator, I mean.
Well, it's not much of a grand adventure, I assure you. I was young back then, and as people kept praising my abilities, I turned complacent. So I came to believe I could use my powers to save a whole story. Or at least a character. And this is the result. I'm locked up, all thanks to my hubris.
I could almost see him shrug behind that door. I was, however, still maintaining a serious expression. His story was too much like mine.
I'm not like ya.
You know what? I feel like the Southern works for his yos and y'alls.
He had said that as if he had read my mind.
Yours is a rare and tragic case of someone retaining his memories of his time spent below. Hell, that's why you want to save your friends in the first place. And you know, that's all well and good. My case, on the other hand, is quite different. I saw hundreds of stories and countless characters, but I ended up feeling sympathy for only one. This person didn't even take up too many pages in the story.
We all got one of those, a side character that has 2 pages that we obsess about and love, and you're like, I will die for you, side character. If anything horrible happens to you, this is random, not all about books, but recently-ish, I watched all of Twilight for the first time, and I randomly cared about one of Jacob's cousins, Boo Boo Stewart. I don't remember what the character's name is, but the actor is Boo Boo Stewart. And everyone was like, I don't care what happens to any of the rest of you, but if anyone touches Boo Boo Stewart, I'm coming for blood, Twilight. I really don't remember what his character's name was, but he was like a child. And then in the last one, in the fake death scene, he died. And I cried. I was like, Boo Boo Stewart, no! But yeah.
Said, no.
No! And I only know him because he plays, oh my god, what's his character? So, he plays the son of, oh my god, what the fuck is anyone's name? He's in, so he's in Descendants. I can't remember what the hell his character's name is. But he's the son of Jafar. His name is something about, like, sounds like Jafar that starts with a J, because all of their names are like that. And I got like super into Descendants for like a whole last year, or like 2 years. For no reason. Probably depression. You know how it is. God, what's his character's name? Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, enough Boo Boo Stewart.
His tone was filled with deep affection. It sounded positively heartrending. Do you regret what you did? Do you regret breaking the rules and being caught for trying to save someone?
No.
His tone turned gentle.
Well, my circumstances didn't really have anything to do with yours, so you might as well forget all about it.
I can't just do that. I've learned many important things from you, and this is a story you hold dearly. It was an honor to hear it.
You sure are a stick in the mud.
I know I can't begin to understand your story or the pain you experienced. Even so, I think it was right for you to act based on your own sense of justice. Please don't let it get to you.
Why did I seem down to you? Oh, why did I seem down to you, comma. Or why, comma.
Yes, a bit.
Oh man, you're a pain to talk to. I know I've just told you all this stuff, but I'm actually about to be released.
Ooh, I fucked his voice at the end there.
Apparently, the higher-ups are still fond of me. Or I guess they just need more manpower. For a while, I'll be constantly observed and given a whole bunch of work. But that's par for the course, really.
Does that mean you...
Yeah, I just might get to see your face, newbie. Go produce some results before that happens, why don't you?
I hope he's very hot, and then I stuck him with that voice. So he's like, I don't know, like the deepest, like, sounds like a crusty southern man, and instead is like,
beautiful by shonen.
like long flowing hair or something nonsense.
I will.
Whoa, this went on for too long. She warned you, didn't she? There won't be a second time. Go back.
Okay, see you next time. He might actually be released.
This interior also looks familiar. I think... Oh... It's not Trinity College, but... I think it's like an Italian church. It looks very, very familiar. It might be the Vatican or some shit. I don't know.
He seemed genuinely humane, and was someone I respected. And he sacrificed everything for the sake of love.
Hey, he didn't say he loved anyone. He said he wanted to save them. There's a difference.
Gizia said, OMG, if you do remember, please share.
I will. It looks like the Roman bathhouse. I'll figure it out. Wait, I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. And then I will figure it out.
The fact that he would soon be freed made me happy, like it was happening to me. Bandages beneath my leather gloves. The sound of his bashful voice.
Gizzy, I'm just giving you an itinerary of like all these places to visit for like a grand European adventure, visiting all of the Mamiya locations, or European/Japan.
Said, LMAO yes.
Since all of the other ones are in Tokyo.
I smiled, feeling as though the world was moving in a wonderful direction. All right, I'm going to do my best.
Oh.
To follow the rules is to play the game. I will treasure the words you've taught me.
Creepy.
I know my role in society. If I consider it my job to keep in check the people who don't understand that, it makes me feel like I'm carrying on your legacy. It truly is an honor.
He's so scary. Very spooky.
Samadrima, come here.
Yes, sir.
You handle this.
But this is...
Just do it.
Samajima looked at the document and slowly lowered his arms. Double accounting. He'd heard rumors of bribery, but he believed them to be just that, rumors. He was lucky to have gone so long without finding out about this, but within the organization, it was already very much known. Chief.
Oh, Samarima, are you done?
I can't do it.
And here I thought you'd finally understand how organizations worked. Are you trying to act all upright because Suo's watching you? I think it's about time you learned how to read the mood. Well, it's fine for the time being. Even if you refuse now, there'll be tons of people calling out to you.
Oh man, that voice is kind of killing me.
But don't blame me if this gets in the way of a promotion. Anyway, do your best.
I mean, he didn't seem that mad about it, which is good. He wasn't like, screw you, you're fired.
To follow the rules is to play the game. Right, Mamiya? No matter how hard you try to be an upstanding citizen, if the others had no intention of ever obeying the rules, then doing the right thing would only make them treat you like a nuisance. Am I in the wrong here? No matter how much I try to do the right thing, if the judge is a fool, the rules would just lead back to disorder. But even you... Risugawa's writing a story about Mamiya, though. I can't. Risugawa, your lip's bleeding. Sorry, I just can't write my story. Huh? I'm utterly unable to convey Mamiya's qualities, charms, humor, or knowledge. What? Why? Why can't you do it? Don't give up, Risugawa. If you can't do it, then we... Do it! Come on, just do it! Write your story already! Why can't you just do it? Nigaki. Why? So it seems that not a single one of us was able to feel it. We couldn't overcome society. We lost. All we did was realize how utterly weak we've been. Just the act of living is making my heart wear out. It's always been like this. This world is so hard to live in. The only reason I'd managed to skate by was because Mamiya was there. No matter how many memories we share, none of you are Mamiya. There's no point to anything if Mamiya's no longer around. Why? If Mamiya has no shape, that means she can stay around without ever dying. But then why? Why aren't you here, Mamiya? Why didn't you take me with you? A world without you has no meaning whatsoever. Why? This is a lot to endure. The afternoon moon above was so much fainter than at night. Oh god, which one's Risugawa? That's okay. Mamiya is so far away. Their disappointment had turned to fatigue, and soon enough, they no longer had the will to muster up any more courage again. Samajima was standing atop a pedestrian bridge. Many cars were passing by, and not a single person spared a thought for Mamiya. That fact alone couldn't have been more obvious. However, it made Samajima's heart ache. As he walked, Samajima mulled over everything that had happened so far. The countless times Niigaki had run away from him. The time he and Toma ate sashimi in secret. The pulse he felt through Risugawa's neck that night. And that pink house that Samajima had picked. Back at the beginning of it all, when they had first had a chat at the cafe with a view of the Tokyo Tower, the first one to suggest talking about Mamiya was Samajima. It felt only apt that he would be the first one to open up in this place as well. What's wrong, Samajima? You called everyone here. What do you want? I'm a busy guy, just so you know. Thank you for gathering here. There's something I want to tell you. What? I have something to confess. I killed Mamiya. Samajima uttered the words like they were nothing, like something you would say between two sips of coffee. For a moment, none of the others could process what he just said. Samajima killed Mamiya? How do you kill an invisible imaginary person? Like, I don't know what's happening here. So the reason why Mamiya wasn't here, the reason why Mamiya died was... You asshole!
Oops, sorry if that peaked the mic. Sorry for your ears. I try to fake yell, usually.
The first one to act was Arisugawa. He yelled out and threw a punch at Samajima, who evaded it with ease. Arisugawa's shout made the two students snap out of their shock. Despite his earlier failure, Arisugawa tried going at Samajima again.
You killed Mamiya? You're not getting away with this.
Samajima killed Mamiya? But why? Normally, Niigaki and Tomo would try to calm things down, but even they sided with Arisugawa this time. The three of them pushed Samajima against the wall, yet he retained much of his composure. Oh dear.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you right now.
Such a simple man. I still haven't finished talking.
What?
Yes, I killed Mamiya. Many times since last year, in fact.
Many times.
Arisugawa loosened his grip. As the three watched, Samajima fixed his clothing and smiled. Mamiya was immortal. No matter how many times I killed him, he wouldn't die. All of his deaths were beautiful.
What do you mean?
Samajima slightly opened his eyes and looked over the three before theatrically raising his arms. Allow me then, to talk about Mamiya's wonderful deaths. Unflinching in the rain, standing and strong in the wind, snow and summer heat will not defeat me. With a body made of steel, and free of worldly desires, with no rage in my heart, and always with a silent smile. That is what...
Oh, wait. You know, I think this might be, Samajima's, like, inner thoughts. It's fine. I'll keep reading it. It's not to my forbid.
Is what I wanted to become. For the longest time, I had felt that I was somehow different from others.
Yeah, it totally is him. Never mind. Okay, wait, give me a sec.
For the longest time, I had failed to understand why people would talk behind each other's backs. I had always assumed they could just say things to each other's faces.
He given me the tism vibes. That is all I am saying on this fact. Get a touch of it.
Once Sawada was informed that Nishino was talking about him, the two of them stopped talking completely. My family was especially simple. And yet I alone found it difficult to live.
Gizia said, "It definitely is T-tism."
Tutism.
The flow of the world, the very air around me, I couldn't understand any of it. I believed that time and death were the only things we all shared evenly. Yet I never once contemplated suicide. Until now, I had tried to find ways to fix myself. And that certainly was a sign of avarice. I should have been more modest. That would have allowed me to live in this world as others did.
God. Give me a sec.
Agua. The world was so tumultuous. The crowds, those worthless pieces of meat, the sounds, why wouldn't they ever cease? I would often think that it all ought to stop like a closed water tap. Seeing corpses would calm me. They weren't noisy. They were pleasantly cold. I never saw them as a bother. I didn't know if such religious takes were apt, but it might have been due to the lack of a soul, as some would call it. I also found the stench of death and decay to be quite beautiful.
He got major serial killer vibes.
Death was the process of returning to nature, and that felt both right and refreshing to me. Few things were as wonderful as the moment of death. I was a detective, and yet I found myself envious of doctors. Tell me, Do you know what it's like when people die? Is it akin to slowly sinking into the sea, allowing one to sense the gradient between life and death? You could never see the true point of death. Ah, how I'd love to see it again. Beautiful things do enrich one's life, after all. I must have simply disliked people in general. Perhaps this realization arrived too late. Even so, a lot of time had passed since it came to me. Years upon years, in fact. I had thought long and hard about why I was so different from other people. Oh, but of course, I was going to talk about my meeting with Mamiya, correct? Apologies for keeping you waiting. I implore you not to lose your temper. Everything has an order, you see, but I'm certain you are well aware of that. So then, allow me to start. It happened during my daily routine. I often went out walking at night. I would never forget it. I was walking along the Arakawa River one fall evening as the new moon sat high upon the sky.
Why he little?
He was like a clear stream. This was my first impression of Mamiya. He was like a pure black asphalt,
Gizia
drenched in darkness.
Said. He is small.
He's small. He's a small version of what's his face? Oh my god. Every time I can't remember his name. Yamato? Something like that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
He was like pure black asphalt, drenched in darkness. Within that listlessness, he stood.
Gizia said.
Yumahisa.
Gizia said.
Wow, I was very off. It's fine. I know the characters' names. It's not like I played this game for like 10 hours yet.
Within this listlessness, he stood there as if caressed by the beautiful wind itself. He would do, I had thought to myself. He made for a good first target.
Oh, he is a serial killer. Holy shit.
I wished to stain my hands with his blood and entrails.
It was only revealed during this stream.
You're right. You know what? You're right. It's true. Yeah, it was Mamiya Yumahisa. Yeah. Yeah, because I said it wrong like 6 times.
And so, I sprang into action, quick as a bolt of lightning. I would put him to sleep and carry him away. I wanted to savor him at a place brighter than this. I didn't think about it too much. Knocking a child unconscious would be as easy as subduing a small animal. I snuck up on him and punched the base of his neck. I caught him as he collapsed. The feeling of his bones made my heart beat faster. I took him to my car, like a mother carrying a child too exhausted to even cry. In retrospect, I'd certainly let my guard down. Sheer excitement got the better of me. That was why...
You've been very naughty.
Oh, what's the voice I use from?
You've been very naughty, mister.
I didn't expect to hear a voice right at my ear.
What now? Are you just gonna throw me in the car? Watch me as I wither away, or tear the flesh from my bones?
Oh. How was he reading my mind?
I won't run. I couldn't even if I wanted to. It's not a big deal anyway.
Why wasn't he crying?
Because I'm interested in you.
Ever so softly, that androgynous voice passed through my eardrums and ravaged my brain directly. As I felt an overwhelming amount of goosebumps cover my skin, the boy looked me straight in the eye. The mold, the universe expanding in those eyes, was profoundly vast.
Mamiya.
Hello, Flea! We wilded in with Mamiya once again. It sure is a time. Yeah, the fucking... This guy, Samajima, just tried to abduct and murder this kid, who ended up being Mamiya, so they're fine. Because they're some sort of mortal, invisible being.
The universe expanding in those eyes was profoundly vast. Next thing I knew, I'd killed him.
Oh? Gonna get back up and be fine?
It was too late. My hand had already sunk into his slender neck. What a waste this had been. I wanted to really take my time and savor it. Normally, I would never
Ash
succumb
Frost
to my
34
impulses like this.
said, Sup, Fenry.
Hello, Ash. Welcome. Hope you're having a chill time with this game. Chill time as this child is getting murdered, but not really, because they're not really a child, I'm pretty sure. Or they're some sort of godchild. Who knows? Obviously the greatest moment to come into this game.
And yet, the moment I saw his eyes, everything was over. I had lost control of myself. All it took was a twist. The child's death was far more simple than I had imagined. This was the first time I'd killed someone. I merely wanted to see its beauty. Did death usually evaporate like this? The very moment it was caught.
34 said, Oh, good news, I got checked my cumulative GPA. I got a 3.475 GPA for in college.
Damn, go off. Yeah, that's way better than mine. Mine was in school. Congrats! I remember, what was it, last stream you were had the stream in the background while you were studying for forever for your finals or something. But yay, congrats! Is this your last year in college? Hopefully you're free from homework forever. The evil that is homework. Sometimes I'm like, meh, maybe I'll get a master's. And then I'm like, oh god, homework. May I never have homework again. A toast to the end of schooling. Blah, blah, blah.
What a waste, truly. It was such
Ash
a waste.
Frost 34 said, No, I got 2 more semesters before I graduate with my associate's degree for forensic science.
Oh, damn. I probably said this last time. That's cool as shit. And I guess appropriate for this game. But congrats. Man, if you're going to forensics, you probably need more school after associates. I'm assuming. I feel like all of those, I don't know, detective-y related science fields are you need 3 masters and 8 years of experience to get anything. But I could be fully wrong. I don't know shit. I'm an artist. I didn't go into science school. I went to art school, which still had way too much homework. You would think art school is easy. You're just drawing. But no, it's not easy. It's awful. Kind of. Maybe it depends on which one. Anyway, continuing on with the story.
It was such a waste for it to end here. I should bring him home with me.
Ah, yes, the corpse.
I hid the child in the bushes and drove my car over from the parking lot. I took out a large icebox meant for fishing and forced his body inside. I'm back. While driving, I had many things on my mind. Would others be worried about the police? Personally, I didn't worry about it all. Even if the truth got out, I was confident I could get away with this. As an officer myself, I knew what they found difficult to address. More importantly, I had to deal with the child in the icebox. Was I to freeze him, dismember him, and label each of the parts? Perhaps I could create a studio for him and keep recording until decay set in. Many ideas came to mind, all of them equally enticing.
You know, he gave me creep factors from when I saw him in, whatever the fuck, the other guy's story. Right from, chapter 1.
I felt like a fisherman, thinking how he'd cook his bountiful catch. All right. I took the icebox to the bathroom and opened the lid. Inside, I found the body of the child I had forced inside. It was flattened here and there. I felt crushed by the realization that I had wasted him. Suddenly, I was struck by the idea to keep him in an aquarium like a medaka. I don't know what a medaka is. Maybe a fish. I remembered that I had an aquarium from the time that I kept tropical fish. I was sure to learn many things while watching him float in the water. My heart began to beat faster just thinking about it. I took out the aquarium, cleaned it up, and filled it with water. It was full in no time.
However, I felt that he would be quite cramped in there. I had to make him smaller to make it easier for him to swim. I returned to my room and grabbed my favorite hunting knife. It gleamed in the moist air of the bathroom the moment I raised it over the boy.
He gonna wake up.
You killed me.
I felt my hair stand on end. This was bad. Dangerous even. But how?
I feel like this is like the Mamiya theme music.
The moment that thought crossed my mind, the blade in my hand changed trajectory and went straight into his eye. Again and again and again.
It's no use.
Why are you still alive?
Unfortunately for you, Satoru.
How do you know my name?
Whatever it is you want to see, I don't have it.
I feel like that isn't my Beavis and Butthead voice I gave him.
Why won't you die? I forced the knife to drop into the top of his head. The tiles were stained in blood. His beautiful face was now a pain to look at. Despite that, the child continued to smile.
Ashfrost34 said, "Oh my god, it's Sebastian from Black Butler."
Oh my god. Wow, you're right. Sebastian as a detective. This is the detective arc.
Let's talk, Satoru. I know you wanted to do it. To have fun with me. Slowly.
My hand came to a stop. That was an attractive idea.
Ah, I'm sorry for the ad. It did not warn me in advance. It just said, ad break ends soon. Good luck. Except for Gizia, who never gets ads when they're supposed to be. I will wait and drink water. La 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 la.
Gizia said, "OMG got ads."
Whoa! Wow. What's it like to finally have ads? Well, I hope Ren can hear me. Hey, I hope Ren's having a good day. Since no one else can hear me. Oh my gosh. I hope everyone gets the appropriate amount of sleep. And don't be a fool like me and drink coffee and then just be miserable for the rest of your day. Which, yeah, no, awful, bad time. I had coffee at like 9:45 and have been wrecked ever since. I had like 3 hours of peace after I drank it, and then was like in my office rolling around. Like, ah! It's fine. I like did a bad and skipped lunch though because I felt like disgusting, and I was like, if I eat anything, it'll make me feel worse. And I had girl dinner of some pretzels and hummus. But maybe after stream I'll have like a midnight dinner. Like a real dinner. As in soup. The curing of thing, I don't know. Cure all. God, 3 minutes is so long. Well, I'm trying to think of anything else that interesting that happens today.
Ashfrost34 said, "Oh my god, it is like Black Butler. We got a seal-looking type dude, and Sebastian, the scenario writes itself."
Hey, you're right. And the CL-looking one has 2 different colored eyes. Ooh. He just needs an eye patch and you're good to go. And like a staff, or what is that, like a cane? Yeah, like a fancy gentleman cane. And then it is Black Butler. I mean, except I guess the CL guy is like a demon and you have to make a contract with him.
Ashfrost34 said, "And a British accent."
True, true. I don't even know. I think I watched season 1 and 2 maybe, and I watched it not dubbed. So there was no British accent for me. Just Japanese. I mean, maybe it's like accented Japanese. This music is aggressive. Aggressive classical. Drink some more water because I'm talking stupid. Welcome back, community.
Gizia said, "Ads ended, but now I need to present something in class BRB."
Oh my god, you're fully fine.
Ashfrost34 said, I always seem to have the uncanny ability to call out things as I sees it, and it always somehow comes out accurately, like some kind of yaoi foresight.
Is that a secret power? I mean, I would be I mean, I guess I'm pretty good at that with like movies and books, so like calling out what's gonna happen. I feel like that's just like consuming a lot of media sometimes. But I'm hoping this isn't a yaoi. He just tried to murder them and this is a child, but who knows with this game? It'd be wild. We had lots of suicides and murders and other yummy things happening. Yeah, this game be wild.
It felt as though I was being invited to take part in a game considered strictly taboo, and it felt like the closest thing to death the world had to offer. What's your name?
I'm Mamiya, Satoru.
Mamiya. What a strange name. Although it was just a name, it sounded like an arcane spell no human lips were ever allowed to utter. What are you?
Ashfrost34 said, I mean, the internet has ruined my brain chemistry, and I might need to go to my local church and dunk my head in the nearest holy fountain. Ashfrost34 said, maybe not, it will probably kill me. Ashfrost34 said, in Minecraft.
Oh my god. I mean, sure, why not? We ain't religious here, but this game is a little bit religious. It's fine. Yeah, we don't church, but that's okay.
What are you? I furrowed my brows, making my voice hoarse. He didn't seem to care, though. He raised his blood-stained head and brought his face closer to mine. We were close enough to kiss, and he...
You can let yourself loose, Satoru.
Stuck out his red tongue and smiled. That was the start of my cohabitation with the strange boy called Mamiya. Several hours had passed since I'd sunk the knife into his flesh. He'd lost more than enough blood to tie, yet still he continued to breathe.
Why not give up and sleep? The sun's about to come up.
Not yet. Not until I see you die.
Are you afraid that you will go to sleep and wake up only to realize that you've been dreaming?
Afraid? Me? Certainly not. Also, this isn't a dream. I did actually kill you. You're right, this isn't a dream. What you feel right now is as real as it can be. But what makes this...
Oh, I did everyone in the right voice. Jesus, wrong voice. Ah!
But what makes this even harder to understand, you should have died when I twisted your neck and stabbed you. You should have died at least twice, and that's a low estimate.
Indeed.
And yet you're still talking despite having lost most of your blood.
I do enjoy talking, yes.
But dead men tell no tales, do they? Please don't fall silent like that.
I thought you preferred silence.
It made me
Ashfrost34
uneasy.
Said, Mamiya said death is a social construct.
There's like a meme where it's like, you can't kill me. Something like that. What is it? Oh my god, I can't remember what it says. I don't know. Oh, it's you can't kill me. I've got God and anime on my side. Yeah, Mamiya. God and anime.
It made me uneasy.
You're strange.
Until today, I've never met anyone stranger than myself. My words got a chuckle out of Mamiya. It was fitting for a boy his age. Before I realized it, I'd lost consciousness. As an officer, I often had days where I didn't get any sleep. This time, however, I fell into a slumber like someone sinking into a lake bed. When I woke up, I found myself in the bathroom where I'd killed the boy. Mamiya was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, morning, Satoru.
Dashing into the living room, I found him just sitting there, all normal and healthy. Why are you here?
Because it's morning, but man, this house sure is empty.
Didn't you bleed out and die in the bathroom? I started to panic, but his raised finger rendered me silent.
You'll be waiting for work, Satoru.
You'll just run away, won't you? I won't let that happen. My work no longer matters as long as I have you.
Is this background music too loud for anyone else? It's so loud for me. I'm like, I'm yelling over aggressive piano music.
You'll lose your social position and begin to stand out. Don't worry, I'll be here when you return.
You're lying.
I'm not, trust me. Go on, get dressed and brush your teeth.
Mamiya.
Have a good day, Satoru.
Night fell. I slowly opened the front door. I had no hope. I didn't think he would still be here. Working my day job had returned a certain sense of reality to me. There was no way one could kill people so easily. It was similarly impossible for a person to still be alive after having died so many times. I was beginning to entertain the idea that this had all just been a daydream. The only reality I had was the one I felt in my hands. The living room was dark. I didn't sense anyone waiting for me in there. That was to be expected. I couldn't help but chuckle. Mamiya had vanished, and I felt exhausted. As I went to sit down on the sofa, Mamiya was right there, sleeping on it.
Welcome back, Satoru.
Mamiya. I gently touched his small hand. I'd love to kill you right now. Can I?
Of course.
He squinted his eyes, still moist from having just woken up. He accepted my desires.
I feel like I'm playing a lot of fucked up games recently. Like, the one I'm playing tomorrow, I'm trying to finish, like, 100% Cooking Companions, and that one was, like this, but in a different flavor. It was, like, cannibalism, eat your friends, and murder each other, and a lot of murdering, and I don't know, there was a lot going on. I feel like maybe, I don't know, and then after that I'm playing Resident Evil, which has more cannibals. Maybe I need a stupid happy game. What if I just got a Kitty City and played that?
Ashfrost34 said, "Oh, the coffin of Lele."
What in the hell is the coffin of Lele?
I don't know what that is.
Ugh. I went on to kill him every single day after coming home from work. No matter how many times I killed him, Mamiya would never die. I chose to accept that as a fact. And so, I thought up countless ways of murdering him. I punched him, drowned him, flayed him, and broke his joints in strange directions. I left him in a room with a high carbon monoxide concentration. He died every time. And every time he would wake up again and talk to me as if nothing had happened.
Say, Satoru, did you ever love someone when you were little?
I think I did, yes. I've forgotten her name, though. I was still in elementary school, you see.
Ashfrost34 said, "It was a horror game that got Twitter thrown into a tizzy because the main characters are sibling cannibals and the brother had a dream of them being in a relationship."
Ah, you know what? That tracks. It gives me the vibes of like those anime that are like, oh my god, I can't believe my sister is this hot.
Said, "And the sister is completely insane, but people will still say would, and I can fix her."
Ew. I feel like sometimes with media like that, people try to, like, the author, they're bad people on purpose. You're not supposed to, like, want them to win, or you're not supposed to relate to them. It's supposed to be, like, a commentary about how bad they are. I mean, usually. At least if the creator is not some little weirdo. It's supposed to be, ah, yes, I know they're a bad person. It's still an interesting story. It's like a Joker or whatever, like the Joker movie, where everyone's like, oh my god, he's just like me. And you're like, no, you're not supposed to want to be like him. He freaking kills people at the end. It's just an interesting story, and you realize how fucked up he is the whole time. I don't know, that's like all those people that are like, I don't know, there's like a category of people that are like,
Ashfrost34 said, literally tell that to the people that will shrimp over psychopathic characters, but people will still say, but that GYAT though.
you know, I am a person that is a fan of problematic characters, but it's not like I'm like an apologist for them. I'm like, wow, that's a fucked up villain, and I still like him. Like, I appreciate the care that went into creating him, or creating her, and making them, like, fucked up. Like, I know they're a bad person. Like, I'm not condoning their actions, but I still like them or think they're hot. So, you know, number one monster fucker here.
Ashfrost34 said, hey, I like me some psycho dudes and psycho chicks.
Exactly. Did no one see my Hooked on You stream I did? Literally dating killers.
What was she like?
She had bobbed hair and a plain face. Looking back, she wasn't particularly cute at all. I don't even remember what drew me to her. I ate a sandwich and talked to the shackled corpse. It was a simple egg and ham sandwich. I used the butter I ordered, plus some fresh eggs, so it wasn't as bad as you'd expect. Mamiya seemed to enjoy chatting with me. Talking wasn't exactly a forte of mine, and I didn't think I'd make much of a conversational partner. When talking to Mamiya, though, none of my worries showed on my face.
You know, these people don't need Mamiya, they need therapy.
The smell of decaying blood, the pleasant sensation of bread against my teeth.
Said, I mean, I liked Yuri from Street Fighter 4 knowing damn well she will crush me like a bug and break all my ribs, and I will still say thank you miss my I have another I mean what?
Wait, give me a sec, I'm messing with the audio. This aggressive piano be killing me a little bit. But yeah, yes, I get you fully. You can still be like, I appreciate you. I don't know, I can't think of any villains I like right now off the top of my head. Like Anakin Skywalker, I guess? Yeah, he pretty fucked up, but I like him. I can only think of like Star Wars characters right now, or like Voltron. I think the biggest thing for Lotor, even though he literally was like, I will commit genocide.
And finally, the casual little chats Mamiya and I had. I enjoyed this space. It gave me something I hadn't felt in a while, a sense of peace. They were gentle, quiet days, and they seemed to pass by in an instant. I feel like Mamiya is the only person to ever talk to me.
Why?
Oh, why? I sometimes have that feeling come over me. Perhaps that's just how it is.
I liked Lothar, I thought he was gonna be cool until the Ritters did a weird 180 on his personality.
I got so mad at the entire last season that now I don't watch the series at all. All of the last season. Burn it with fire.
34 said, okay, he'll stop talking cause I keep interrupting.
Hey, no worries. It gives me a voice acting break. I do not mind. I can sip water while talk to text talks.
Drink water, you dehydrated.
See, Gizia gets it.
Ashfrost34 said, but one last thing, hunk best husbando.
True. Hunk is pure bean and deserves all the best. Did I read this one? Who has no idea?
I sometimes have that feeling come over me. Perhaps that's just how it is. We talked many times, and each time I came face to face with my own immaturity and naivete. I became focused on arguing him down, and the next moment I would notice the color of his eyes. His green eye had an arcane light to it that seemed to embrace my heart. His black eyes seemed to reflect my hideous self like a clean mirror. It was like being submerged in a lake at midnight. As the darkness and the lake's surface became one, the water would rid me of all my senses. Drifting weightless in the water, in that inky, never-ending darkness, I felt at peace, as though having entrusted myself to the Almighty. and it was an indescribable kind of bliss that nearly brought me to tears. I felt happy, being lost in that bottomless depths of those eyes. They passed through my brain and melted into my very consciousness, leaving me at a constant loss for words. I found myself profoundly entranced by every clever inflection spoken by his girlish lips. Mamiya's words had always greatly impacted my daily life. They had a particularly noble influence on my relationship with society. One day, Mamiya and I were eating at the table. I was enjoying a sirloin steak. I cut it into small pieces and used a fork to bring them to my mouth, occasionally washing them down with some soy milk. Soy milk? Sir,
Oat milk is the way to go, obviously. Soy milk is bad for the environment. And you're right. Almond milk is bad for the environment. Soy milk is bad for your body, I believe. Anyways, oat milk forever.
Mamiya was eating steamed buns with milk. He drank it straight from the 1-liter pack, making loud, gulping sounds. Lunch with a corpse was quite fulfilling.
What is it? You're not eating.
Oh,
Are you worried about something?
I don't get how Mommy eats. He's not real, maybe?
it was rare for me to expose myself like this. In Mamiya's presence, I couldn't help but let my guard down every now and then. Well, I don't feel too good at work. My job always requires cooperation, since acting solo is generally looked down upon. As a result, I often have to operate with other people. Recently, there was a crack in the leadership between the team members.
Did you notice that yourself?
No, my superior pointed it out. I didn't even think about it until then.
And?
Well, I'm the leader, so I'm supposed to do something. Society says that men rarely talk behind each other's backs, and that there's no drama in our relationships. But I don't agree with that. In fact, I find that men are more ambitious and jealous than women, so they often do what they can to bring others down. At the very least, I tried to make sure that it wouldn't happen at the police station I worked at, but it didn't go well. I just don't understand. What is considered acceptable to say, and what makes people upset?
Oh yeah, he hardcore tism coded.
I sighed and continued eating my sirloin steak in silence. This has been on my mind for a while now. Is there a way to make them stop talking behind each other's backs? Mamiya stopped to think for a moment before speaking up.
You can't do that, Satoru. You can't just stop the flow of other people's words. Even if you shut 1 or 2 people up, someone else would speak. That's how rumors work. It's how they spread and circulate.
The boy stood up and walked up to me.
Listen, Satoru. This world is a game.
A game? I made a suspicious face. I was a bit disappointed, frankly. I don't think he would use such a stale expression.
You're thinking something rude, aren't you? Listen, this world is a game about trying to do well in society.
Oh?
What are the conditions for playing a game? Well, the rules that each player understands. I'll say it again. Society is a game, and so is the organization you belong to.
You mean the police?
Listen, Satoru. Not saying bad things about people in their presence is just another rule of the game. It's not about you not reading the mood or not being able to understand people's feelings. It's the same principle as the inability to use hands in soccer or double dribbles in basketball. That's all it is, a rule to make the game more fun.
A rule?
You've just learned that rule, and it will allow you to play the game properly, right?
He looked up at me with an indomitable smile. His words, however, made me uneasy.
Games have rewards. What would that be here? Your social standing.
That was something I desperately wanted.
Give me a sec. I need to do a fun voice.
He's so useless. God, what a shitty assistant.
He'll just run his career dead end sooner or later. Right, Samajima? There it was again. Things like this happened all the time in groups and organizations.
Listen, I'm a notorious shit talker. It's fine. I don't know. I like hearing tea. And I don't know, venting once in a while.
Not in public, but in private.
Through, I don't know, friends. Yeah, whatever. You get what I'm talking. I feel like it's good to vent sometimes, and meh. That's my vibes.
Why was he asking me that? Why did he want my agreement? How was I supposed to respond? I then remembered what Mamiya had told me. This world is a game about trying to do well in society. Not saying bad things about people in their presence is just another rule of the game. I suppose this is the place where we complain about our coworkers? Huh? What kind of question is that? Can't you tell? I knew the rules now. That could only mean it was okay to talk behind people's backs here. Yes, I agree completely. Man, I'm kinda relieved. Guess even you've got complaints and shit piling up, huh? I wasn't sure what they were saying. I just knew that they were talking, and that was it. At that moment, a poem I respected a lot came into my head. Unflinching in the rain, standing strong in the wind. Unflinching in the rain, standing strong in the wind.
That's it? That's the whole poem? Okay, sure.
Before I knew it, we were talking about a recent burglar murderer. I was overcome by shock, like I had just found shelter in the middle of a storm. They didn't suspect me in the slightest. Oh. In that moment, the air in the room became absurdly easy to breathe. I felt like I had just resurfaced from underwater. Was it always this easy? Was it this easy to live as part of society? Once I had the reasoning, there was nothing to fear and nothing to blame myself for. As long as I knew the rules, even I could participate in this game called society. Until now, I had only viewed Mamiya as a talking corpse.
Why'd the music end? That was very abrupt.
But that day, he became someone special to me. He would once again begin to occupy my thoughts. What was he exactly? He looked like a young boy still in elementary school, but spoke like a wise old man.
It's too quiet now. I'm disturbed. Like, did it end the loop, or was it supposed to stop there?
Was he a reaper or an angel? Both felt correct, yet neither seemed right. Regardless, he had appeared before me. Naturally, I began wanting to know more about him. I want to know you. When I said that, Mamiya looked at me in confusion. You already know plenty about me, don't you? Of course. I know the lengths of your arms, the color of your fingernails, the thickness of your skin. But this isn't about your body. I want to know about your true nature and the life you've led until now. Mamiya put a hand over his chin and lost himself in thought. Very well, it'll be a challenge. What? If you win, I'll talk. Then...
God, he's got like the OO face, or like, not the, that's the D. The I-I-D. wait, I will just put it in chat, the one I'm talking, yeah.
Dire Fenry.
What? No!
Said,
It turned it
D.
stupid. Dang you, Twitch, emotion, emoticons. Not doing what I want.
But if I win, you'll have to tell me about your past. I was confident I could win. I had participated in many a bit over the year, and never lost one. Brimming with confidence, I chose to accept his terms. He took out an apple from the fridge and placed it on his own head. I had it bought so we could play William Tell together. William Tell was a man who shot an apple off his son's head and was forgiven for his crimes as a result. I would do the same. I brought over a crossbow from my room and stood before Mamiya. He sat in his chair and swayed as he waited for me to finish his preparations.
Said, OMG, just now I saw the animated emoticons, they're so cute OMGG.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, those came in like a week ago. They are by 88 Design, or IDN, 88 IDN, I think, on Instagram, and 88 Design on VGen. I'll double check that. I need to fix my credits in my Twitch info. But there's like a way that you can credit the emotes directly, so that like when people like, I think, hover over them, it'll tell you who the artist is. I haven't figured that out yet, but I need to, because I don't know. As an artist, I love crediting other artists, and everyone should be credited for their work. And I don't know. You're like, it's super cute. Who did it? Hovers over it. Oh my god, I know who did it immediately. For convenience. Because I know I always like want to see the artist people did, or if they have like a model. I'm like, oh my god, it's beautiful.
Said, yes.
See? But yes, that one I know off the top of my head was 88 IDN / 88 Design. They do, I feel like emotes is like their only thing basically, or their big thing. I don't know. They just do a shit ton of emotes, and they have so many bases. Definitely give them a check them out. And then the loading screen one was made by Venedictos' VT's partner Corey, but their Twitter handle is Booplet2020, I believe. Yeah. But they are super chill also. They had slots open for a little bit. I don't know if they're still open, but also check them out.
He sat in his chair and...
did a brush.
He sat in his chair as he waited for me to finish my preparations.
So will you be forgiven for your sins, or shoot your own son in the head?
Please don't move. I can't get my aim right. I was as far from him as physically possible within the house. There were several meters between us. This would be a piece of cake. Even supposing he moved. He was sitting in a chair and had to balance the apple, so I couldn't even imagine missing. The low rumble of the rain outside filled the silence of the room. I held my breath, and the moment the apple entered my vision, I pulled the trigger. The bolt would easily hit the apple on his head. Or so I had thought. Oop. Despite my expectations, the bolt missed and pierced Mamiya's head. Time itself seemed to halt for a moment as a heavy silence came over us.
You lose.
The next moment, Mamiya, with a bolt still lodged in his forehead, began eating the apple while making a mockery out of me. No, let me try again.
You can't try again with corpses. I win.
As I fell silent, I heard a loud ding in the distance. Perfect timing. That's the apple pie done. I'll go have a bite real quick.
Have a bite? It just came out of the oven. You're gonna burn your mouth.
Don't you run away from me, Satoru. Come on.
I ate the apple pie, took a break, and was about to turn in for the night. Mamiya, however, was in no mind to allow that.
Sit.
I did as the boy had ordered, and sat down on the sofa.
I'll probably keep going for about a half hour, guys, because voice is down a little bit, and stomach, he's dying a little bit. But I really want to finish the end of this, section, this backstory about Samejima and baby Mamiya. I am curious.
Sitting on the table, he crossed his legs and looked down at me.
Relax, consider this an extension of our usual discussion. Talk about your family, friends, or anything really.
Friends? I can't say I have any. Could you help me out here? Mamiya silently ignored my request and continued to look down on me. I was concerned. He knew how difficult it was for me to talk about this. Well, I still haven't accepted the outcome of the challenge. I shot the apple. I'm certain of it. Though I suppose it's just me being a sore loser at this point. Apparently, I've never been good at accepting defeat. I'm both well-studied and physically fit. I believe I could win any challenge. That's how my grandmother raised me. She often beat me with a wooden stick, you see. How nostalgic. Back in elementary school, I was on animal duty. I looked after things alongside a short girl who used to bite her nails. We had several Medakas in our class.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna look up what the heck a Medaka is. What are you, Medaka? But I thought it was a fish before. What? It took me, what's Medaka? It is a fish! I was right, it's called a Japanese rice fish. It's like a tiny little normal pond fish that you see in like any small lake or pond.
The Medakas in the aquarium that seemed large to me back then were very lovable creatures. The other girl had cram school, so I was left alone to put the Medakas in a bucket, clean the green water, and put them back in the clean water. Naturally, the aquarium was made to keep the water clean for a long time. When in the clean water, they looked somewhat happy, which in turn made me happy too. Then, one summer day, it happened. The Medakas all died. The pump had been removed, and there were eraser bits in the water. Even as a child, I could tell this was someone's idea of a mean-spirited prank. Below the blazing sun, I buried the Medakas at a nearby mountain. What?
He was like, "This fish must have a mountain burial," and like walked them all the way over to a mountain.
The Medakas' remains made me feel nothing. Their lives seemed utterly without value. As I buried them, I felt as though I was looking at my own future. I didn't know why, but I was oftentimes treated as a bad guy. I hadn't done anything. I was only standing there like the others. However, someone said it was me who did it. They pointed fingers at me. I didn't deny it. Why, you may ask? If I was innocent, I shouldn't have stood up for myself, right? Maybe that's true. However, that seemed like a very difficult thing for me back then. Who would have believed me if I said that it wasn't me? What was going through their minds of those who had accused me? As I considered such things, I was left alone with my teacher, who forced me to write an apology. I was used to this, to being misunderstood, to being blamed for things others had done. I didn't care. It didn't bother me at all. That day, a rabbit died. I broke branches as I walked. I played by twisting puppy heads. I had several ants on me at all times. That was the kind of child I was.
Ah, yeah, serial killer. Serial killer vibes. There's like, what is it, 3 signs of serial killers? Head trauma, bad relationship with your parents, and hurting animals. And if he actually was twisting puppy heads and killed a rabbit, he got 2 out of the 3. If his grandma beat him with a stick, then that's bad relationship with your parents, I guess.
That was boring, wasn't it? Enough about me now. Mamiya, can I have a response? If you don't give me one, am I a bother to you? Am I? Within the darkness of the kitchen, there was a boy that had the structural beauty of a Pieta statue. What the hell is a Pieta statue? I'd done something I wasn't used to doing. I felt as though I was slowly becoming unable to keep myself together. Thanks, Satoru. That's enough. I realized I had knelt down and started crying, while Mamiya was hugging me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so gassy. All the burps. Sorry. I feel like voice acting is just... a lot of talking brings it all up.
Mummy.
Mummy.
I was surprised how cold he was.
Izia said. LMAO understandable.
He didn't have the warmth of a normal person. He was like a corpse. He was of a nature that rid the living of their warmth. A nature as persistent as it was strong.
I can become someone who understands you. You cry during droughts. You wander aimlessly through the summers of cold. And yet I can understand you.
I heard those words within the freezing chill, and saw a ray of light in them. I was saved. Oh. I had always wanted to hear this. I had always wanted someone to say this to me. Always.
This is very Jesus-y. Oh, across windows, ooh. My savior, Mamiya.
On that evening, I opened the curtains. The rain had let up, and there was a rainbow in the clear sky. I'd only seen a few of them in my life, so I felt as though this day, this moment, was an omen of some sort. Rainbows are so eerie.
Why?
Well, they're these giant objects of indescribable color, just hanging in the sky like that. Until now, I would have just shut myself inside on days I saw rainbows. I felt like the rainbows would consume me and take me away if I went outside.
I see.
What about you?
I feel like I'm looking at my kin.
Unable to comprehend what he had meant, I ended up making a bitter scowl.
What is with this peppy-ass music?
Would a normal person say something like that?
Well, rainbows are more often than not symbols of bliss. They'd probably make you feel very lucky and happy.
Lucky and happy. Imitating his words made me feel strangely cheerful. To me, Mamiya was far more of a symbol of bliss than some rainbow. I hadn't seen a rainbow since. I'm back.
Hello there, Satoru. You don't usually come home this late.
I stopped by an acquaintance's place and had dinner.
Didn't you say you had no friends?
Mamiya mocked me with a raised eyebrow. He's not a friend. More like a mentor. He's my boss, essentially. I often meet his son as well. We often play lacrosse.
How's he doing?
He's grown quite a bit. It's only a matter of time until he outgrows me.
Oh my god, you're talking about Aoyama? Is that his name? Oh my god, I'm so bad with their names. Samajima? No, he's Samajima. Shit.
Gizia said,
Suo
Kato.
Jesus Christ. Suo. I was like, it's got a lot of the ooh. I feel like I was close with Oyama, unless there's another character named Oyama, but Suo Kato. I feel like I should know that for the amount of times I've had to say it.
He's grown quite a bit. It's only a matter of time until he outgrows me.
I see.
A strange silence came over us.
Said, LMAODWIM so bad with names too.
There's too many characters. I got Mamiya and Natsume, and that's what we got. Oh, and Rio, but I only know because Devilman's my favorite. And it's like, my good friend Rio. So yeah, there we go. That was the only three whose names I remember. And... no. I thought I could get the older dude's name with the fur jacket, but nah. Because it's something really long and ridiculous. I think it's like Yumichika or something like that.
A strange silence came over us. We bathed in the pale moonlight filtering in through the large windows. It had been a while since I'd talked to a Mamiya that wasn't a corpse. I realized I could have normal exchanges even if the body before me wasn't cold. There was no chokingly unpleasant stench of blood either, and Mamiya was alive. Had the velvet carpet always been this vibrant? The outline of his sublime profile was accentuated by the light. It seemed as though moon dust had gathered on his eyelashes. It moved me like few things could. You sometimes look up at the moon. Do you like it?
Why?
Because you don't look at the moon the same way you do at me.
Well,
it's like you're being nostalgic for your homeland. For the first time ever, Mamiya was at a loss for words.
me?
Yes.
I see you can read people's hearts if you try, Satoru. In fact, I'd say you're really quite sensitive in that regard. The moon as a homeland. That just might be right.
Mamiya.
It's where I came from.
Mamiya pointed at the crescent moon up in the sky. You're a messenger from the moon.
No, from...
Oh god. Give me a sec. I'm gonna struggle on this word every single time.
No, from... Trichiliocosm.
The Trichiliocosm. I could hear the barely audible hum of the black refrigerator. You came from some place called the Trichiliocosm.
Yes.
As a person from the Trichiliocosm, how are you finding this world? The silence before his response felt unusually drawn out.
Whoa, screen like flash.
My mouth was dry. My throat was tense.
Oh God. I don't like the flashing.
The sound of the fridge was starting to grate on my nerves. It was too loud, and the moon was too bright. I felt a deep, permeating ache. I didn't even smell anything. I find everything about it to be wonderful beyond words.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jump scare.
Of aggressive classical music.
He looked at me. With those eyes of his, they made me discard all emotion. I felt a strong impulse surge through me, like I'd just been struck by lightning. The word beautiful was woefully insufficient to express all this. I felt like an archaeologist who had just discovered the hidden truth of the universe. Fear and excitement had overwhelmed me completely. I couldn't sleep at night that night. I lay in bed with thoughts as clear as day. I'd become certain of something. It was like a revolution. At this rate, Mamiya would disappear. He would leave me here and return to his wonderful Trichiliocosm. Within the deep, sleepless night,
Silent night. No, I don't know what he said.
there was only the faint moonlight as it rained down on a lone silhouette. I put on black gloves like I usually did,
What's with everyone in fucking gloves?
and went to the living room where Mamiya would be sleeping.
Satoru.
He was awakened by the sound of my footsteps. I didn't even give him time to realize what was happening. I grabbed him by the neck and carried him to the bedroom.
You're being awfully impatient. More so than usual.
Usual. Guys, I feel like I'm losing it. Delusional.
Shut up. I sliced his throat open. His slender body let out a silent scream and collapsed. I toyed with the idea of killing him. I'd do it so thoroughly it would make all the other times seem tame by comparison. I wanted him to lose all the energy and will to run away. I spent the night torturing him without mercy. The room was completely covered in blood, sweat, and blood, tears, and spit. My own sweat and saliva were mixed in there too. Mamiya was in such a sorry state that he could no longer maintain a human-like shape. He became a piece of meat, but that didn't stop me from panicking. I chose to bind him to the wall.
What does that mean?
Good morning, Mamiya. I've brought you breakfast. I made some coffee and brought a sandwich to the bedroom. There was a Mamiya-like thing there, bound to the wall. Oh, the sandwich. It's
Tuna and mayonnaise. Ugh. Ugh.
very delicious. I have a day off, meaning I can spend it all with you. I spent the entire day there, only ever leaving to visit the bathroom or to make food. I read books and sharpened the knives I had hidden around the house, and the day seemed to pass by in an instant. Good night, Mamiya. Even when I woke up, Mamiya was still there, bound to a blood-stained wall. Feeling elated, I hummed a little tune as I prepared to leave for work. I'll be back soon. I was actually considering quitting my job. Mamiya was far more important to me than my current career. However, if I quit my job, I would be unable to participate in the game. I didn't want to stand out and be unable to understand the rules again. I'd finally learned how to enjoy the game. Holding back my uneasiness, I focused on my job. I told myself to uphold the rules and participate in the game. It was okay. Mamiya wouldn't run away. He might have been immortal, but he was still chained up against the wall. Why was I so optimistic, though? I knew full well that such things were meaningless against Mamiya. When I came back, I found only the empty shackles. Staggering, I ran around the house. The living room, the bathroom, the study, the storage. I couldn't find him anywhere. Why? No. I flipped the place upside down looking for him. I swept away all the books, thinking he might be hiding in the bookshelf. I looked in the trash can, I looked in the washing machine, I even looked in the CRT, yet Mamiya was nowhere to be found. My home might have been in ruins, yet my heart was in an even worse state. I grabbed all the alcohol I had at home and drank myself into a stupor. Oh, is this when Mamiya dies? Maybe. Unforgivable. Unacceptable. Why? Why would he suddenly do something this awful to me? Don't abandon me, please. I was awoken by the light of early morning. However, the moment my consciousness returned, an intense headache made me scowl. Oh, I guess he's not dead, or this is not that moment. Someone had handed me a cup of water, and I took it without hesitation. As I moistened my parched throat, a question sprang to mind. Who gave me this cup? Man, you're a weak drinker, huh? Okay, guys, I think I might need to stop early. Feel very not well suddenly. And this does not seem any closer to ending. But also, it's just like really, really freaking hot in my room. So I'm like, is it the sickness? Or is my room just really hot? But yeah, I think I'm going to stop it there. And I'm losing my voice hardcore, Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry for all of the short stream. But tomorrow I will be fine and back.
Said, the ending isn't far, but it has still some scenes away, so DW.
Thank you.
Yizia said, rest well.
But yeah, tomorrow I'll be back with Cooking Companions, and then maybe something else if we finish it very fast. A la that time I beat Resident Evil 8 within the first 10 minutes of stream.
Ren said, thanks for the stream, take care of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the well wishes. We'll do a little raid. Here, let me drop my socials like I try to remember to do sometimes, even though people know them. Thank you for the stretch, Gizia. Didn't get too shrimp backed that time. But yeah, let me do a little raid. Let's see who's streaming. Oh, Tuna's streaming. What is that? Hellblade. Oh, that's fun. Oh, Maldummy streaming. I'm a big fan of Maldummy. They're a cool artist that I think they just had their 1 year anniversary, like stream anniversary. But yeah, let's go check them out. And I will hang out with you guys there also for a bit. Words. But thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a chill time with this very, very messed up section of this game. Here, let me save the game before I actually just exit out and flub it. But yeah, we'll be back with more Mamiya next week.
Said, thanks for stream. Gizia
of course.
Said, tism.
Tism. You know, describing the state of this character very well. Tism. Have a great rest of your night, guys, and I'll see you over at Maldummy stream.